Good afternoon, guys. I want to comment on this video because this doctor has an elderly parent, and she is busy with her career and with her life, with her children, and she's having all kind of problems taking care of her father. Let's listen to a little bit of this, and I'm gonna come back and comment. Listen to this, guys.
And you say, you bring your elderly parent to the doctor and you say, I cannot take care of my dad. He needs lifting, he needs help in the bathroom, he needs help feeding, everything. I have my own kids, I have my own job, I have my own family. There is no social support. Only if you are wealthy can you buy that privately. Your primary care doctor cannot suggest that your dad should get admitted to a nursing home and that Medicare can cover. When I work on the inpatient side of things, cannot go see your dad down in the ED and suggest, oh, what he needs is help with daily activities of living. He should go to a nursing home. No. I have to admit him to the hospital, even though
Guys, what this doctor is explaining over here is very, very true. You have to go through the chain of commands. The doctor has to refer you and so on and so forth. But in order for you to avoid all that, I'm a life insurance agent. I sell life insurance policies that come with a free living trust. And I'm going to show you how important living trust is as this video go on. Um, the life insurance policies that I offer come with living benefits, which means in the event this situation occurs, this doctor uh, doesn't have the time, doesn't have the money, and she's busy with her children. His life insurance policy could have covered all that. He could have hired the best nurses to come at home. He could have had the best of the best people, and he doesn't have to ask any. He doesn't have to get approval from anyone. He could have had all this done so easily by having a life insurance policy with living benefits. I highly recommend you get a life insurance policy with living benefits, guys. I spoke to a client just recently, and the poor lady had a 20-year policy. It's a term policy that's going to expire, of course. And on her 17th year in the policy, she was like 50, 51, 52. And when she was in her 70s, she became diagnosed with Alzheimer's, dementia, and unfortunately her policy didn't have any living benefits in it, so it didn't really do her any good. The policy would pay out only if she dies, but that's not going to do her any good because she's still alive and she have an insurance policy. But 3 years while the policy was still active, she was still suffering with dementia. But if she would have gotten a life policy, the modern life policies that they have now, they're much better. Some of them have living benefits included at no additional charge in the event of accident, illness, or death. You will get paid instead of while you're alive. If you do get into an accident, you will definitely advance your living benefits, or if you get into an accident, you can advance your living benefits, or if you die, your family or your beneficiaries will collect the face value or the death benefit. So if you have $1 million policy and you get into an accident and you're unable to perform 2 daily tasks like eating and bathing, you are eligible for that $1 million while you're alive, tax free. I wanna underline the word tax free, guys. This is not reported to the IRS. You can collect your money while you're alive to do whatever you like to do with it. You can take it to go on a cruise. You can take it to go on a vacation for 2-3 months. You can pay off the house, pay off the car, put $300,000-400,000 in the bank. You can do whatever you want to do with this money. This lady over here complaining about Medicare or Medicaid. Actually, I'm going to let her finish and I'm going to come back and comment on that. Give me a second, guys.
as a doctor do not believe in that, so that the case manager can now send out a prior authorization as long as he has stayed in the hospital for at least 2 nights. And you're not paying the observation rate, you're paying the inpatient rate because they only accept from inpatient. This is what drains our money in this country. And you know where that money is being drained first? The American people. We are putting Americans in so much debt through the system.
I totally agree with the point that she just made. As American, we do work so much, but the saying that says, "The more you know," or you don't know what you don't know. Just by spending $100 a month on a policy, guys, on a life insurance policy with living benefits, you can get 500,000, $500,000, $1 million policy, $100, guys, $100. If you're listening, please listen to me. Whoever's going to listen to this video, I want you guys to understand that $100 will prevent all this chaos from happening. You'll have money available for you immediately in the event of an accident or illness to do whatever you want to do with that money. This doctor is absolutely right. All we do is just work and work and work. And here she is dealing with her father's not being able to get admitted to certain, or to be offered certain medical care, just because of the cost. It's always the cost. So in order for you to offset the cost, you want to transfer risk from you to the insurance company by getting insurance. When your house burns down, what happens? The insurance company take care of it. What you're doing, you're transferring the risk from you to the insurance company. It's a contractual agreement between you and the insurance company. They're saying, if the house burns down, we'll fix it for you. We'll pay off the house. We'll rebuild the house. If you get sick, we'll pay you. The life insurance company says, if you get sick, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, heart attack, multiple sclerosis, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. If you are diagnosed with any of these illnesses, you can advance your living benefits while you're still alive. Or if you get into an accident and you're unable to perform 2 daily tasks, you can advance your living benefits while you're still alive. I've been saying that for 2 years, and I don't know why people just don't understand. It's easy to transfer the risk to the insurance company. Just get a policy while you're young and healthy, and it would cost you pennies on the dollars. Whoever's listening to me, that person that's listening, please listen and understand what this means. The solution is really easy. Just get insurance. Get insurance. You went out and got insurance on your car. Why? Because if something happened to it, the insurance company is going to take care of it. You went out and got insurance on your house. Why? Because if anything does happen, if a tree falls on a house and split the house in half, the insurance company is going to take care of it. Same thing goes for you. If anything ever... The thing that people have difficulty understanding, that you are the income earner, you are the check producer, and if something does happen to you, your paycheck stops. There's no money coming in anymore. There's a way to ensure that by having a life insurance that does come with living benefits. And another thing too, I'm going to mention to you, whoever's listening to this, I hope you're getting value out of this video. The life insurance policies that I offer come with living benefits and living trust and a living will, which means you can protect your assets. This lady's going to talk about, I'm going to jump ahead of the video, but she was going to say, in order for her father to be eligible for all these extra benefits, you literally have to be broke. You have to make like $2,000. I'm not sure. It's very, very, very small amount. I don't know the exact number. But you have to make very little money in order for you to be eligible for all these government benefit, Medicare, Medicaid, and so on and so forth. But by putting your assets into a trust, into a living trust, 5 years prior to applying to Medicaid, you can actually get Medicaid with no problem, even though you could have millions of dollars in assets. But as long as it's protected in a trust, what they do, they have a 5-year look back. So Medicaid is going to come back and they're going to say, Mr. Jones, have you owned any assets in the past 5 years? They're going to look and they're going to say, no, he doesn't own any asset because all his assets are in a trust. Therefore, he will be eligible even though he's a millionaire. So the government's going to take care of him because his assets are protected in a trust. And on the same token, if something does happen to you and you have a life insurance policy with Living Trust, the insurance company is obligated to pay you your money, your face value, your living benefits while you're alive. This is a contractual agreement. It's in the policy. So why not, in the event you get sick, if you go to your doctor and the doctor says, I am, or Mr. Jones, you're diagnosed, you just developed cancer or diabetes or something happened, So you take that diagnosis and you go to your life insurance company and you say, my doctor just said I have cancer. Give me my $1 million. You advance your death benefit and you take it and you do whatever you want to do with it. I hope this makes sense. Are you listening to me? Are you comprehending all these problems? I'm going to play another video, but I'm not going to comment as much on the second video because I don't want this to be very long. But let's listen to this, guys. It's very interesting. But all this can be resolved with the right insurance policy.
And the hospital is making a profit, and it does not go to physician salaries. You can bet on that. I have admitted patients before. Medicare doesn't even want to cover anyway. Now we're looking at other options like Medicaid. In order to qualify for Medicaid, you have to make no money at all. And by money, I'm not talking about the cash flowing in. I'm talking about every...
I want to pause this for a second, guys. I want to comment on Medicaid. Medicaid is provided for free, but you have to make yourself very poor. You have to actually sell all your assets 5 years prior to applying to Medicaid to be eligible for Medicaid. But here's the kicker. If you do get Medicaid and you did not keep in consideration the 5-year look back, if you get Medicaid and you get sick and they're taking care of you, the government's taking care of you for several years and they're paying everything off, after you die, they will sell all your assets to recoup their cost. I want you to understand that. I'm going to say that one more time. If you get Medicaid and after you die, if you get Medicaid for a few years, after you die, they're going to look and see whatever asset that you have and they're going to sell it all to recoup their costs. So Medicaid is not free. It's just a loan from the government, okay? And in order for you to avoid that from happening, you need to put your assets in a trust. But you have to do it 5 years prior to applying to Medicaid. I hope that makes sense. Whoever's listening, I want you guys to understand what I just said. Medicaid is just a loan. After you die, they're going to sell all your assets and they're going to recoup every single penny they spend on you by selling your assets. You can avoid that by having a living trust, which I can provide you with for free with the life insurance policies. The life insurance policies that I offer come with free living benefits, free living will, and a free living trust. So that will protect you in every way possible. If you do get sick, and your life insurance policy is $1 million, you will collect $1 million tax-free while you're alive. Let's listen to this doctor again, please.
Everything you own, your car, your house, your savings that you've worked your butt off your entire life. And by money, I'm not talking about the cash flowing in. I'm talking about everything you own. Your car, your house, your savings that you've worked your butt off being drained first. The American people. We are putting Americans in so much debt through the system, and the hospital is making a profit. And it does not go to physician salaries. You can bet on that. I have admitted patients before. Medicare doesn't even want to cover anyway. Now we're looking at other options like Medicaid. In order to qualify for Medicaid, you have to make no money at all. And by money, I'm not talking about the cash flowing in. I'm talking about everything you own. Your car, your house, your savings that you've worked your butt off your entire life. Things you want to pass down to your kids after you die. Yeah, guess what you have to do with those things? You have to do what's called spend down. You have to sell that car. You have to sell that house. You have to be poor enough to qualify for Medicaid in this country so that you can go die with grace in a nursing home. We are so jaded, and this
You have to sell everything in order for you to be eligible for Medicaid, guys. You have to be super poor, because if you have any assets, they will sell all your assets after you die. It's a very vicious cycle, but there is a solution. You don't know what you don't know, and I am trying to educate you to show you how you can prevent all that from happening by having a living trust and a life insurance policy with living benefits. The solution is very simple, guys. You just suffer a little bit when you're younger. You're spending $100 a month, which is not a big deal. Better than spending thousands of dollars when you're older. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta take care of something here. I'm making coffee. Let me make some coffee. Hang on. Oh God. Oh God. Hang on. Sorry. I'm gonna play another video here in a second, guys. And this other doctor, he's also a doctor, and his mother has dealt with the exact same issue. This is really heartbreaking, but there's a solution. You, the listener, if you're listening, listen to me. Listen to me. There is a solution to this problem. It's called Living Trust and a life insurance policy with living benefits. I provide all that. Call me 910-447-6508. You can text One Life to that number, and I'll be more than happy to reach out to you and give you a very affordable solution. Let's finish watching this video.
happens all the time, and we know it's wrong. We just live with the system. Cuts to Medicaid? Cut what? We are charging people who make $30,000 a year and supporting their family. We are charging them tens of thousands of dollars. People in the United States work until they die. This is a non-partisan issue. We are all human beings. As a citizen, you should be taken care of by your government at the end of life, especially if you've paid taxes your entire life and you're promised Medicare at the end. You bring your elderly parent to the doctor and you say, I cannot take care of my dad. He needs lifting, he needs help in the bathroom, he needs help feeding, everything. I have my own kids, I have my own job, I have my own family. There is no social support. Only if you are wealthy can you buy that privately. Your primary care doctor cannot suggest that your dad should get admitted to a nursing home and that Medicare can cover. I, when I work on the inpatient side of things, cannot go see your dad down in the ED and suggest, oh, what he needs is help with daily activities of living. He should go to a nursing home. No. I have to admit him to the hospital, even though I as a doctor do not believe in that, so that the case manager can now send out a prior authorization as long as he has stayed in the hospital for at least 2 nights. And you're not paying the observation rate, you're paying the inpatient rate because they only accept from inpatient. This is what drains our money in this country. And you know where that money is being drained first? The American people. We are putting Americans in so much debt through the system, and the hospital is making a profit. And it does not go to physician salaries. You can bet on that. I have admitted patients before. Medicare doesn't even want to cover anyway. Now we're looking at other options like Medicaid. In order to qualify for Medicaid, you have to make no money at all. And by money, I'm not talking about the cash flowing in. I'm talking about everything you own. Your car, your house, your savings that you've worked your butt off your entire life. Things you want to pass down to your kids after you die. Yeah, guess what you have to do with those things? You have to do what's called spend down. You have to sell that car. You have to sell that house. You have to be poor enough to...
You have to liquidate all your assets in order for you to be eligible for Medicaid. You have to have literally no money in the bank. It's really, really, really sad. And this doctor is very upset because she's feeling the pain.
qualify for Medicaid in this country so that you can go die with grace in a nursing home. We are so jaded, and this happens all the time, and we know it's wrong. We just live with the system. Cuts to Medicaid? Cut what? We are charging people who make $30,000 a year and supporting their family. We are charging them tens of thousands of dollars. People in the United States work until they die. This is a non-partisan issue. We are all human beings. As a citizen, you should be taken care of by your government at the end of life, especially if you've paid taxes your entire life and you're promised Medicare at the end.
She's absolutely right, 100%. Again, guys, there's a solution to this. Please reach out to me. Text One Life to 910-447-6508. I want to play this second video. It's a very similar situation. It's another doctor with his mother. They refused to finish her surgery because of cost. There wasn't enough money in her policy or whatever it is. Something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to let the doctor explain it over here. It's only 2 minutes long. Listen, guys, it's very important.
I was a surgery resident at, and she was going to have an elective outpatient procedure, just a diagnostic procedure. She met with the attendings in the gastroenterology department 3 times and asked what they were going to do, what they weren't going to do. Long story short, they did the diagnostic test, but they decided they would go a step farther and use a cautery and blindly cauterize and perforated her bowel. When the procedure was over, they told me and my father, who was a doctor, and I was a surgery resident in that facility, on duty that day. And they told us that everything went great, no problems, but she was in terrible pain. They put her in the hospital overnight. And I was the surgery resident on call that got the emergency call on my pager that we had a surgical emergency on the floor. It was my mother. I called in the surgery crew, and my attending called the surgery off without explanation. This was totally against what's in the textbooks. This was a textbook case of a perforated bowel that needed emergency surgery, and they delayed the surgery for 4 days without explanation. We found out later they were meeting with the hospital attorneys and the hospital administration, and it took a month for her to die on Mother's Day. We found out that there was a cap, what would be the loss to the hospital in a county hospital.
You see, that's the exact same thing. The hospital wasn't going to perform the surgery because her health insurance wouldn't cover it. There's a cap. So they said, well, you know what? We're just going to let her die. We don't care because her policy doesn't cover the additional procedure, which is pretty awful thing to do. I mean, this is a human life we're talking about here. They allow somebody to die because their life insurance policy doesn't cover them or doesn't cover the additional cost, not the health insurance, I'm sorry. That's why you need a life insurance policy to offset all this. Listen to this, guys.
If a patient died from malpractice, but they would have lost 4 times as much taking care of my mother for her long-term health illnesses as a result of that complication. So
the life insurance policies that I offer, you can use the money for LTC, long-term care, assisted living. You can use that money for whatever you want. In this particular case with this doctor, his mother is dying and her health insurance wasn't going to cover the additional cost. She could have used her life insurance policy to offset the difference. So that's one option you have there, guys. And also, by having a living trust that I offer for free, she could have protected all her assets with that.
Did the math, and that's why my mother was allowed to die, actually.
Want to avoid expensive...
Found out that there was a cap, what would be the loss to the hospital in a county hospital if a patient died from malpractice. But they would have lost 4 times as much taking care of my mother for her long-term health illnesses as a result of that complication. So they did the math, and that's why my mother was allowed to die.
They did the math. That's why they allowed his mother to die. That's really, really, really sad. I hope you never have to deal with something like that when you have a loved one in the hospital and you know they let that person, your family member, die because of not having enough money. I'm going to play the last part of this. Is a video that I just uploaded a couple minutes ago, and I want you guys to listen to the last statement, and I'm going to end it there. Best of luck. Call me at 910-447-6508 or comment One Life on this video, and I will reach out today. Thank you, guys. Listen to the last message that I have on this video.
Actually,
Want to avoid expensive hospital bills and long-term care costs? A life insurance policy with living benefits can be helpful, and the ones I offer include them at no additional cost. Living benefits let you access money from your policy while you're still alive to cover serious illness, medical emergencies, and even long-term care, LTC, like assisted living. The money you receive can be used for anything you need, from daily expenses to paying off your mortgage or just giving yourself financial peace of mind. Comment One Life or text One Life to 9104-476508, and I'll personally reach out today to walk you through your options. Don't forget to scan the barcode to get started today. Protect your health, protect your future. You deserve both.